Good afternoon, everyone. And before I welcome you all to GAN 27, I would like to wish each and every one of you a very happy Onam. Okay, and today we have with us our Dr. Ravi Shankar, who is a dedicated and experienced medical professional. I welcome you, Doctor.
Thank you, Anila, for inviting me to this talk.
We all know how important it is to have a healthy and a beautiful hair. Not only our facial features, but our hair reveals a lot about our personality as well. For many of us, good hair is an essential factor for a beautiful physical appearance as well. But various factors are responsible for the damage caused to our hair, and it is a common problem seen these days. Now, Doc, how does hair fall actually occur in the first place?
Okay. In fact, it is a very interesting topic. So basically, hair is a very simple structure which is made up of a protein called keratin. Normally, our hair grows half an inch every month. So the different hairs, like a body hair, which gives warmness to the body, and the hair which is present on nostrils will protect our from our immune system by preventing the entry of dirty particles to our nostrils. And especially the hair which is present on eyebrows and eyelashes will protect us from dirt, rain, and sweat, etc. So hair follicle contains a nerve receptor basically within the skin, and this property of hair which provides a sensory awareness to the body. So hair loss or a sudden shedding of hair fall is sometimes considered as alopecia, is the term which is being used. And it is our immune system which is basically related to this disorder. And hair loss is not a big issue because it is recovered by a new hair growth. But abnormal hair loss, which is a problem which is need to be addressed, and it is just because of the shrinking of the hair follicles present at the hair roots is responsible for hair fall. So there are different causes which are responsible for the shedding of hair very at very early age, which we are going to discuss later. Normally, we used to you lose 50 to 100 hair strands per day.
And Doc, according to you, what could be the possible causes for hair loss?
See, there, as I mentioned, there are different kind of reasons for hair loss. So first and foremost, and the important thing which we need to look into are as follows: like hormonal imbalance is one of the contributing factor for hair loss, and hereditary reasons is one of the reason for hair loss, and thyroid disorders, alopecia, and even a chemotherapy or a drugs which are being used to treat cancer are also responsible for hair fall, and certain medications as a side effect which will be leading to the associated reason for hair fall. So in the hereditary factor, both men and women can be affected, but typically the men are more susceptible to hereditary hair loss due to the hormone called testosterone, because the testosterone, which when it breaks down into a hormone called dihydrotestosterone, which acts as a catalyst to activate the gene which is responsible for the hair loss. So the scalp infections like dandruff are also one of the contributing for hair loss.
And Doc, nowadays we experiment a lot with our hair. Does that have an impact on our hair, maybe like result in the hair loss, for example?
Yes, of course. The too much experimentation with your hair will definitely will lead to the hair fall. So especially the tight hairstyles like a ponytail, extensions, braiding, and other hairstyles, which place an excessive tension to the scalp and lead to the traction alopecia condition. So most of the people are susceptible due to this weak, sensitive hair follicles. So in order to avoid such hairstyles, you should have avoid this hair fall problem. People, those who are having strong hair roots, can do experiments.
And Doc, a lot of us out there undergoes hair treatments like hair smoothing, coloring, and so on. Are there any side effects on our hair follicles as a result of these various hair treatments that we undergo?
Yes, of course. As I mentioned earlier, the different hairstyles and also the hair treatment condition, hair straightening modalities will definitely contribute to the hair fall, because hair fall is the most common side effect of hair treatment. hair straightening, and the excessive usage of harsh chemicals and heat makes the hair follicle weak, and after a few months of your hair stand lose their natural strength and start breaking, and it will be leading to hair fall condition.
And doc, on average, I would say I'm losing about 80 hair strands per day. Is it worth worrying or I can just relax?
So as I told you earlier, loss of hair up to 50 per day or 50 to 80 or 100 per day is considered as a normal process. So yeah, you need to worry and you should take some herbal products if it is more than that. Avoid using any harsh chemical like SLS or SLES based products, which will function definitely will contribute to further hair loss. So if you are losing more than 100 per day, then you should start looking into the problem or addressing the issues.
Okay, doc. There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to hair loss and baldness. Are these the same or they are different?
No, it's not. Baldness is a condition where your hair loss from hair roots and there is no possibility of hair growth again. That means to say it is a irreversible condition. But in case of normal hair loss, by using some herbal remedies or herbal products, we can regrow the hair. Hence, baldness is different from hair fall or hair loss.
Let's just say, like, if a person started to go bald, how much hair will he be losing?
Uh, it is a little difficult question to predict. So how much hair he will lose over a period of time, because of every person expression of genetic makeup is unpredictable. So usually if you start noticing the baldness before 20, the more baldness you can expect to have in sooner time. Even after studying your family tree, no one can make a proper prediction about your baldness. But basically the baldness which is related to a hereditary factor, the gene expression timing is important. In some cases it may be expressed in 30, in some it may be 40, in some it may be 50, and there are a lot of other environmental factors also responsible to express that particular genetic factor of baldness.
And doc, some say PCOS and thyroid can cause hair loss. But is
uh, yes, it is true, because when we look discussed about the reasons for hair fall, we have studied or we have understood one concept called hormonal imbalance. Both PCOS and thyroid conditions are responsible because of imbalance in the hormones. So hence PCOS can cause hyperandrogenism, and if your hair is sensitive to then it will lead to hair loss. So alopecia areata is also an autoimmune condition which leads to hair loss that occurs in people who have autoimmune thyroid diseases. Hence PCOS and thyroid diseases are more susceptible to face these kind of hair loss issues.
and doc, like we all go through a lot of stress these days, and which is very common for all of us. Can stress have an impact on hair loss?
Yes, very true. Stress is one of the main reason for hair loss because it trigger some immunological or endocrinal changes which may lead to alopecia. It is not a single factor which leads to hair loss. So yes, stress definitely can cause hair loss from the scalp, and the stress may be of physical or emotional stress or illness, injury, and surgery, and post related to a disease follow up. Stress can cause either a direct or indirect impact on your hair follicles and lead to hair loss. So sometimes you can notice hair fall 6 to 12 weeks after a stressful event in a person. So definitely we can say that stress is one of the important factor which we need to rule out for hair fall before starting treatment.
True, doctor. And I would also like to know if our lifestyle is having any role in the hair loss as well.
So, as equally stress is important as a contributing factor, the bad lifestyle is also one of the important contributing factor for hair loss. So, especially when we look into the lifestyle, the bad eating habits, the irregular timing, and the junk food, etc., are contributing factor, and also the sleep disorders. I mean to say, lack of proper sleep, less duration of sleep, or disturbed sleep. All these will contribute to hair loss. So your daily dietary habits, such as eating fast food, excessive alcohol consumption, may also lead to hair loss. And hair loss problems because of lack of proper diet, which is lacking of essential nutrients such as iron, protein, which will affect on your hair growth. Because of this nutrient helps us to grow hair follicles stronger. So even the salt water for using a head bath and environmental factors such as too much sweating by wearing a tight cap or a helmet will also contribute to hair falls. So like that, different kind of lifestyle conditions will be responsible for hair fall condition.
And Doc, I understand that proper nutrition is essential as well. But if you could suggest some of the diet tips for hair growth, that would be great.
Yes. So here we can correct the hair fall issue if it is a reason is a nutritional deficiency. So as I mentioned, the different contributing factors for hair fall. If you able to figure it out, your hair fall is because of lack of proper diet. Probably here in this case, you can add good amount of consuming egg, dairy products, fish, and walnuts, sweet potato, and flax seeds, amla, brungaraj, leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, and especially foods which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and protein diet will help definitely in compensating the micronutrient deficiency if it is responsible for the hair fall in condition, because the collagen which is being built up with these particular kind of products will replaces the dead cells of hair follicles and replaces with a new one. And another important factor is just maintaining a correct pH of your hair and scalp is also essential for overall healthy hair, because appearance of morphology of hair is regarded as one of the divergent traits of a human population. So hair is a distinct specialized anatomical structure. So basically the hair fiber consists of three morphological components, namely cuticle, cortex, and medulla. So the layers of the cuticle cells from outer sheath and the fiber and mainly responsible for the cosmetic properties of the hair. So it is always ideal to look into a product or to maintain a healthy scalp pH in order to maintain a healthy hair along with the dietary requirements.
And Doc, if you could mention some of the vitamin deficiencies that can cause hair loss, that would be really helpful.
Yeah. So here, whatever the above mentioned items, like a food substances which can nourishes the hair follicle, will be containing very rich vitamins. So if you look into the vitamin deficiency, vitamin D deficiency is one of the main cause of hair loss. Apart from this vitamin D, the other vitamins responsible for hair growth or a healthy hair is are vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and most importantly, biotin, that is vitamin B7, because all these vitamins stimulates the hair follicles to grow. On when the body doesn't have enough vitamins, the new hair growth is stunted and your hair starts falling. So as we need to have a diet which is rich in all the above vitamins, and apart from the vitamins, the important minerals also need to be looked into are iron, zinc, and selenium. So one should take care of the diet which is rich in above vitamins and minerals.
Is there any way to solve this hair loss, and can we actually regrow the hair naturally?
By adopting some home remedies like applying coconut oil or mixing coconut oil with raw aloe vera gel and amla powder on your scalp and doing a gentle massage on the scalp for 5 to 10 minutes, leave it for 1 hour, and after that you wash your hair with natural herbal shampoos and conditioner which are devoid of any harsh chemicals like SLS or SLES, etc. All these home remedies will definitely help to have a healthy hair, and it will promote the hair growth and stop hair loss also. Overall thing is that by adopting a holistic herbal hair care routine will prevent hair fall and promotes the hair growth.
That was quite informative, Doc, and I'm sure it is for the people watching the webinar as well. Thank you, Dr. Ravi Shankar, and all of you for joining me in the NutriNow webinar. Until we meet next time, stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Anila. Thank you.
Done.
Yeah.